What's in the briefcase? White privilege. That's what I reckon. Why do you reckon that? Well, as in the famous words of Lloyd Grossman, let's look at the evidence. The people involved in this caper. You've got the kids who were caught at breakfast. You've got, I forget his name, what his name is, and Honey Bunny. The character referred to by Vincent Vega as that Nimrod. I forget his name. Honey Bunny. Love you too, Honey Bunny. Them two. You've got Jules. I forget his surname. As I say, you've got Jules and Vincent Vega. Butch plays a little part in it. But he doesn't have any... He doesn't per se have any involvement or direct involvement with the white privilege, other than his own white privilege that he uses to good effect to, you know, see that his world carries on nicely. But yeah, essentially you've got Marcellus Wallace. He's a successful guy. Mr. Big, because it's inferred that he's on the peripheries of the naughtiness. He's on the peripheries of the criminal fraternity, or is that? It's quite possibly the pinnacle of that area's criminal fraternity, because Vincent Vega, when he goes and meets his drug dealing mate to buy some heroin, he subsequently, when he's got to go back, by the way, spoiler alert, loads of spoilers. When Vincent Vega has to revisit his drug dealing mate, because the lady he was supposed to spend an evening with, Mrs. Wallace, she's taken an overdose because Vincent Vega is just a bit of... Well, Vincent Vega's a drug-addled nitwit who's only any... You know, he can only get work as a hired hand. You know, just a bod. And poor old Mrs. Wallace, she has herself an overdose. Vincent Vega has to take her to his drug dealing mate's house, and he references Marcellus Wallace. So you assume that his drug dealing mate is well aware of who Marcellus Wallace is. So let's say Mr. Big. So what is it that Mr. Wallace would want? You know, Mr. Wallace has all the trappings of high society. He's got himself to the to the top of the pile, whatever that pile may be. But he's a black guy. Therein lies the problem, you see. What can he have? A man who can buy anything. A man who has the money to get anything he wants. You know, he's got that one thing that he's always been hankering for, that he hasn't got: white privilege. Then you look at, as I say, you've got the kids who were caught at breakfast. You've got Brad. You've got Flock of Seagulls man, Flock of Seagulls guy. You got the guy in the bathroom with the goddamn hand cannon, and then you got Marvin, the inside guy. Marvin, who it's very possible put the kids who were caught at breakfast in touch with Marcellus Wallace. You know, Marcellus Wallace is looking for some, you know, anybody could sell him some white privilege. But there's the problem. Right there is the problem. You can't buy white privilege. It literally is something you've got. You've got it or you haven't. And the kids who were caught at breakfast, they're sort of, well, again, you know, let's sell this idiot who's got loads of money some white privilege, you know. He's wanting to buy some white privilege. Yeah, let's sell him some. You can't, it's not something that can be bought. Now, the question is, do they know this? Going into the alleged transaction, do they know that Mr. Wallace would be unable to buy it? Or at least, like I said, the transaction just isn't going to, it's not going to be fulfilled. You know, as Jules puts to them, you tried to fuck Marcellus Wallace. Did they know at the outset? I mean, I think they did, because Flock of Seagulls, man, he knew where the white privilege was being stored. It's not like they were unaware that they had it, you know. They went and did the deal. Well, we thought Mr. Wallace had it. What? No. They knew full well they still had it. They still possessed it. And that Marcellus Wallace didn't have it. And then you've got, as I say, you've got Vincent Vega, and you've got Nimrod. I forget his name. What does Honey Bunny call him? Anyway, again, two hapless, can't be asked doing a day's work for a living individuals who want to go around holding up. Well, they as I say, they're making a transition from holding up, you know, grocery stores. They've cottoned on that grocery stores typically, that, you know, independent grocery stores are owner-run business, and that owner isn't going to just sit idly by while somebody walks off with the takings. Whereas if you hit a franchised food outlet, you've more chance of the staff there going, "Oh, yeah, take what you want, no worries, not my money, don't give a fuck, whatever the fuck." So there's less risk, less inherent risk. As I say, Nimrod wants to have a look at it. He wants, what's in the case? What's in the case? And Jules lets him have a look at what's in the case, and he's overwhelmed by it. But, you know, you think, well, he's a white guy. Does he not have any of his own white privilege? No. He doesn't. Look at his circumstances. He's hapless. White privilege. He's lacking white privilege, even though he's white. And then you got Jules. When they pick the white privilege up from the kids who were caught at breakfast, he has a good look at it. Oof, yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Oof. Both he and Nimrod they're like overwhelmed. Look, this, you know, as much to say, look, you should have some of it. Have you not got any of this? What's up with you? But Jules, he doesn't look into the case. He knows it's not something he can have. But he's at peace. Very much at peace with his lot in life, if you will. And he's making his own choices, making his own decisions. He's careful with what he does, you know. you know, he's having to work with Vincent Vega. Vincent Vega shoots Marvin in the face. I'm of a mind to think he did it purposefully because, you know, Vincent Vega is in the employment of Marcellus Wallace, and Marcellus Wallace is probably seething that the deal didn't go through. He's seething. He'll have paid good money for this white privilege, and he didn't get it. And I feel quite confident he'll probably want total vengeance, up to and including the individual who put him in touch with these, you know, got caught at breakfast. The kids who got caught at breakfast. So he probably think, you know, see that Marvin doesn't make it as well. And what better excuse? Oh, the gun went off. I'm wanting to say that because I find that easier to, in my heart, I find that easier to accept than Vincent Vega being such a gormless, drug-addled individual that he had a negligent discharge. You know, indeed, they went to where the kids were living, and the guns were in the boot. They put the guns go in the boot. So if you get stopped, you've nothing on you. Yes, officer, 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah. You need a search warrant to look in the boot, and you haven't got one of them. So, you know, so we're all ship shape here, officer. Oh, we'll be on his way, thanks you. But he keeps, you know, on the way away from picking up the white privilege. Vincent Vega still has his gun on him, you know, he don't put it in the boot. He's a hapless individual, as I say, drug-addled, he's a heroin addict. But Jules is very much, you know, he's putting his effort in, he's switched on, he's doing what needs to be done, he's doing what has been asked of him. And he doesn't need to look at the white privilege, because that's not something. He's got to where he is in his life without white privilege, and he doesn't need it. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll leave that for you people. My job is to get it from those kids and get it to my employer, and that's it. I don't wish to look upon it. Anyway, there you go. That's my 5 pence.